nothing is going to stop unless you are actually heard. You know, there was an article today, I think it was in, let me see if I can find it. It was in the Federalist, and it was all about how if Americans could just understand the power that they have, if conservatives would understand the power that they have. These things are not being changed by these corporations because initially they wanted to. It's because this army, this woke army, they go to shareholder meetings. They go locally. They are relentless. And what do? Let me give you a story. Do you remember when Target took out a couple of books and dropped them because they were just doing damage to people? And one was Irreversible Damage by Abigail Shrier, and the other one was The End of Gender by Deborah Soh. Both friends of ours and been on the program about these things. And they are very well documented and very well thought out. And you may not like what they have to say, but it is backed by, dare I say it, science. So because of the wokeness of Target, they decided that they were going to pull the books because of a Twitter user decided to complain that the books didn't like them being sold because they were dangerous to people, and so they removed the books. Well, this was a backlash. Do you remember this? Mm-hmm. Everybody rose up and said, that's crazy. And so what did Twitter do? They reversed the ban the very next day. End of story. All of us went back and we're like, oh, okay, we won that. We pushed Target back. You know what's really strange is Abigail Shrier has just tweeted that her book is unavailable on Target again. Now, why isn't it available on Target? Well, the good folks at, this is actually National Review, decided to look into it. And both Irreversible Damage and The End of Gender, once again available, are now once again unavailable on Target's website. So they called up and asked Target Investor Relations, why are these apparently banned again? The answer? Despite their rapid reversal last fall in the face of widespread outrage, we have introduced a new set of guidelines that determines what books people can buy from Target. Now, this is clearly a matter of controversy and interest to shareholders and the general public, but they didn't do it with any press notifications. They declined to answer why they didn't actually announce this. However, their new book banning policy was instead hidden away on an obscure corner of their website. So they had negative reactions to book banning.
It's so weird post-1930s that would happen. I'm really shocked that people don't like that policy.
So why did they do this quietly? Because they don't want anyone messing around with their wokeness. Officially, Target reserves the right to remove any book that has the potential to cause harm to an individual or a group of people based on race, gender identity, sexual orientation, and so on. Ooh. So if you are engaging in what they call exclusion, a conveniently vague term. How do we define exclusion? Can we? What books should be excluded? Or is that definition always evolving?
Well, I know they said and so on, so maybe that's what they meant with Deborah Soh.
Right.
They were just like,
so on. No, there's no H on the end of that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This spring, Target rolled out new guidelines that shape our book assortment. These guidelines put more definition around harmful content that will be excluded. As a result, some books previously in our assortment are no longer falling within these guidelines.
Oh, that's sad.
So here's the thing. We have to change. We are now the outsiders. We are the underdogs. We are the revolutionaries. We are not in charge anymore. And we feel as though we have been. But I've never felt like we were in charge. I thought we were all in it together. I thought all of us believed in the Bill of Rights. I thought all of us believed in, that's a bad book. I don't want to read that, but go ahead and sell it. I thought we all would fight and die for your right to say it, even if I didn't agree with it. We don't. And it feels as though we are outnumbered. And because of the media and now social media, they want you to feel outnumbered. Look, if you really are in a vast minority, why are they silencing everyone? If there's only a few of us that believe these things, why are they silencing voices? Because we'll convince the woke? No. We're never going to convince Coca-Cola, those people who actually work there and who believe it. We're never going to convince them that they're wrong. They know that they've got to silence the majority. So we all just stand in line and we feel very, very alone. We have to start showing up at shareholder meetings. We have to start getting engaged. And I hate to say it, but we have to start boycotting. I told you last week about Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry they're not going to change their anti-Zionism, their anti-Israel thoughts. However, their local outlets, those outlets that are carrying Ben & Jerry's, if you start saying to those people, I'm not going to shop at your store anymore because you're carrying Ben & Jerry's and they are anti-Israel and anti-Semites, and I'm not going to do business with people who do business with anti-Semitic people. You start doing that, and you will change. Believe me, Ben & Jerry's will go back into their little hole because they're going to have to, or they'll be broke. That's what they've done to all of us. And unless we fight fire with fire, you're going to start seeing fighting with actual fire, and nobody wants that. You've got to start standing up. Look at the difference you're starting to make with critical race theory. It is changing. We just have to keep the heat on. There's no rest for the weary.